Welcome back. So now that we have some kind of products right here, we want to convert them into a proper JSON response. And we're going to try and do that this lesson. So step one, let's try and figure out how we can actually convert these products into something that we can actually use and return. Because right now it was some kind of snapshot, and that's not quite what we want to return. We want to return actual products that we want to use. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try and make a small array right here that's going to contain all the new products. So this will be the list of products that I want to return. Whoops. Let's just try that again. List of products. There we go. And this list is just going to be, let's just call it any right here, equal just a blank array. So it's just going to be a simple array that we're going to create with the type of any inside it. So this shouldn't be a problem at all. The next step is to figure out how we can actually return this list right here and actually return that in the response. And that's very simple. You can actually say response.json, and then you can just put in the actual list of products. That's all you have to do. Now the final thing that we need to do to kind of make something valuable in the list is actually to run over the list of these guys, the snapshots, and actually go and add those to the list. So let's do that. We'll just do a products right here, do it for each, explain that I want to run over each of the products inside this list. And they're going to contain, let's just call it product right here, because I'm going to get a product for each item in the products. And what I want to do for each of them is pretty much just go in here and first of all create a small product representation right here. Now the product representation is going to be first of all the data. Now the data, remember the data in Firebase in the collection setup in a document is all the metadata inside it. It's not the ID, right? So I don't have the ID in here for the actual product, but I want that as well. So now I have the actual data inside the body. Let me try and show you inside Firebase right here. That means that I pretty much have all the data over here. That's now inside the body, right? So this guy now contains all the data in this area. But I also wanted to contain that ID we see right there. To do that, I have to do one more step. I have to say product.id equal, and then I can say product.id once more, product.id, because that's how I can actually get the actual ID for this specific product or document inside the collection. So that's how I get this item right here. And I just add that to the rest of the product, and then in the end I just pretty much have to push this new prod into the list of products. So I'll just push this guy. Now this is good old JavaScript code or TypeScript code, call it what you want. This is very, very simple code to use when you get used to it. So it's not a big thing. Now the final thing I want to do is just get rid of this noise right here, and then I should actually end up sending back a list of products from Firebase every time I do this request. Let's try and deploy this, and now it should pretty much just be an arrow up and press enter if you have just used it recently. So the deployment is complete, but what does this actually mean? Let's try and jump back to our good old friend Postman. I'll go in here and I'll send the same URL as before, /products up here, and I'll try and do the send now. And you should see something similar to what was just displayed right here, because I just misclicked it, so I kind of spoiled all the fun. But here we go. Now we get back the picture ID, the name, and the ID, and we get it in a simple array. Good old JSON like you're used to, right? And we can now use that JSON for whatever we want. So we just built a GET request that actually went to Firebase, and without any kind of manual settings for security, we just went into this collection and returned all the different products. Now there are a lot of things you can now start doing, filtering, sorting, ordering, all kind of crazy stuff. But actually in our case, we don't want to work with pure HTTP request in this series at least. I think I'm going to make some kind of REST API series where we make something similar to make a full feature REST API, but let's not do it this time. For now, I just want to show you guys how easy it was to actually access FireStore collections from this function setup. Next lesson, what we're going to start doing instead is start talking about triggers and how we can actually use triggers to get specific events and start working with manipulating our data inside Firebase. So that's it for this lesson. Let's just end the request part for now, and I might make a complete series about that if that's something you guys wanna look at. Have fun and see you all next time.